God, I wish I could go back and just change time and change reality.
Views are low. Oh, quick, talk about O&A. We're just under 200 people. I'm good with that.
I want you to imagine you're a retired multi-millionaire, one who made his living in a now dead industry. You hired more talented people to provide entertainment and represent your brand, spreading it to reach a national audience. You have a loving wife, 2 well-adjusted kids, a legacy to look back on, and a bank balance that would make any Wells Fargo teller blush. How would you spend your time? Perhaps you'd pick up a new hobby, or travel around seeing the world, or maybe just spend the rest of your days dedicated to being a loving father and husband. Wrong. You've been doing this since you were 18. What any well-adjusted soul would do is spend hours a day yelling into an iPhone on the beach.
If anyone knows truly who really is trying to push that bullshit forward, let me know, okay? I would really, really like to know. That's some gaslighting garbage.
I'm afraid our pal Gregg Hughes may have finally snapped. What was once a well-known personality on a beloved radio show, now reduced to a 58-year-old man, staring blankly into space, answering questions from the likes of Creamy Butters, and living out his Kurt Cobain fantasies with what little hair he has left.
Show your hair. Why do you give a fuck how much hair I have? I've always had way too much fucking hair, to be honest with you. I need to lose a little bit of it.
I can't say I'm surprised with how Opie's ended up. His lack of self-awareness and narcissistic tendencies were never a well-hidden secret on the Opie and Anthony show. But it is still jarring to see him continue this behavior 7 years after the show's destruction. You'd think years of financial success and a stable relationship would leave you immune to complaints of internet assholes. But despite his many attempts to state otherwise, he's still looking for the validation of fans. Does this look like a man who's happy with his place in life?
You know what he's gonna do? He's right now. I need to make another troll account. He blocked me.
It's embarrassing enough to hear people my own age use the term haters. But when a man nearly old enough to be granted a senior discount at Denny's says it, my asshole puckers to the point of nearly launching last night's dinner back up through my esophagus. It's not all bad, though. Seeing Gregg in this state is truly inspiring to some extent. Whenever I see him lounging on the beach in his Hamptons home, disheveled, Krispy Kreme hat atop his empty head, whining to his tens of audience members, I'm reminded that anything is possible. If a man so bereft of talent and mental stability can make it this far in life, perhaps there's a shot for a meaty-breasted nothing like myself. I guess the old adage holds true. Money can't buy you happiness. Or sanity. But Opie's mental state has only further deteriorated since his foray into Mexican scat porn production. In an attempt to distance himself from his shocking personality he had on XM's airwaves, Opie now spends most of his broadcasts in and out of wacky morning zoo-style character voices, even stealing Gindaloon wannabe Ron Bennington's patented drawn-out S.
Today, we are in Mexico. We are in Mexico today. So cheers. Cheers.
This is the same man who criticized Jim Norton's tendency to slip in and out of characters, seeing it as mental illness, pure and simple. So what does that say about Gregg, who not only swipes other speech patterns, but is seemingly incapable of conducting himself on an hour-long podcast, if you can call it that, without the aid of goofy voices to pump up the otherwise banal conversation?
Dumb thumbs that look like they got, shot off by fireworks. I don't know, all of a sudden, I guess God said, good enough. We'll give him a big brain instead. Two thumbs, Graham Crawford the fourth. Only I can make fun of my thumbs.
That's not to say Opie's lost all his edge since being yanked off the radio. He's still willing to push the envelope.
Hitler was a good guy and did a lot of good things.
Jesus, Ope. For the record, I disavow all statements made by Mr. Hughes and would like to distance myself from his hateful rhetoric. Hate has no home here. It must be nice to go through life without a modicum of self-awareness, never questioning your decisions, nothing but the utmost confidence in yourself and your abilities. No criticism can hurt your ego when in reality, you're blameless. It's everyone else's fault, of course.
Why is it that everyone, Jimmy, Sam, Anthony, E-Rock, etc., all don't like you and are all cool with each other? How many people before you wonder if you are the problem? Yeah, those guys are whatever, but you're not mentioning all the people I actually still get along with?
No one could ever find fault in Opie naturally. It has to be the doing of that evil mastermind Anthony. A man who can't control his urge to tweet idiotic shit every second of the day, yet still somehow possesses the ability to manipulate thousands into hating.
Like whoever starts this shit, and I truly believe it's from Anthony's camp. The fact is, if it wasn't for Anthony, I wouldn't get much hate whatsoever.
It couldn't possibly be that you're a thin-skinned, humorless hack with no concept of how other people may react to your douche-chilling antics. Would a man with no self-awareness post a picture of his nearly hairless armpit on Instagram and expect not to be mocked for it? I think not. Would a man cognizant of his childish, guitar-smashing, poker chip-throwing, cake-stomping antics still label himself the responsible one of the group?
I had to worry about that damn Opie and Anthony radio show every waking moment of my life. Because I had to be the stupid, responsible one. And I hated every minute of that part of it.
Opie's go-to defense for those that say he's mentally unstable is to point a finger at Anthony and Jimmy and say, what about those guys?
Why is it that the guy that, has been with the same girl for 17 years, has two very healthy, well-adjusted kids, why am I the mentally ill one? When you could choose me, Anthony, or Jimmy, why the fuck would I be the mentally ill one, for real?
Oh, Gregg, my sweet apple tree climbing boy. That's not a defense. That's a deflection. It's no shocker to any of us that a man with more guns than friends, and another who pays for transsexual hookers to humiliate him, may not be the perfect pictures of mental stability. But comparing yourself to other messes and saying, see, not as bad, isn't a valid counter. And what's worse is how he still comes out on top as most unstable. He's still searching for the love Mama Hughes never gave him.
So it's, O&Aforums.net. We are 100% Team Opie. No offense, I don't know what that is. And I've never been there. And, maybe I would click. You know what? I'm not perfect. I might have to click on that. Tonight.
It's funny. With Opie's habit of mocking those afflicted with genuine mental illness, from Bobo to Big A and countless homeless, Opie is now thrown into the same basket of people, those who were laughed at rather than laughed with. He desperately wanted to be famous on the internet, posting countless cringe-inducing viral videos, but ended up infamous, sharing much more in common with characters like Darkside Phil or Wings of Redemption than PewDiePie or Mr. Beast. I don't want to go on for too long, so I'll keep this short and end it with a little advice for Gregg. Stop pretending you don't care what fans think. They're smarter than you think and can see through that act. Anytime you say you don't care, you really care. Stop blaming others for your failures. Accept responsibility for your actions. People like a man that acknowledges their mistakes and learns from them. And finally, a question. Why do you shave your armpits? Are they naturally this hairless, or does Lindsay make you do it? Maybe you can get that message to him at Opie Radio in case he misses this video. The people need to know. Here's hoping we get some answers. See you around, Greggy Poo.
This is just sad now. Is it? Is it sad for you? Guess it's not sad for me.